What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about American Underdog. Before I get too far into this, I do have to let you guys know that as soon as I started filming this, my neighbors downstairs decided to just start blasting music, and there's tons of bass coming through the floor. So if my mic decides to pick up any of those vibrations, I do apologize for any audio issues as this review goes on, because they're annoying me quite a bit, and hopefully that does not interrupt this review. So I just got home from another AMC advanced screening, this time a week early, for an upcoming film starring Zachary Levi, Anna Paquin, and Dennis Quaid called American Underdog. The true life story of a football player, an American football player by the name of Kurt Warner. Now, for full transparency, I am not a sports guy. When I was growing up, I was always chosen last in gym class and have never really been anybody that was on any sort of athletic team or really athletic in any way, shape, or form. I was always more into the arts, music, and movies and things like that. So yeah, definitely never really been anybody who's an athlete. But you know, when it comes to sports, you know, I had plenty of friends who were into sports. I was always the guy that would come over to anything that I was invited to and be like, hey, is Tiger Woods playing tonight? And it really didn't matter what sport was being played. I knew Tiger Woods was not playing, and I knew that Peyton Manning was not playing basketball, but I would always ask just to simply seem like that guy who's so out of the loop when it comes to sports. And so yeah, that just goes to show right there, I'm not a sports guy, but I am a huge sucker for a good sports movie. And this film, like a lot of other films of its kind, definitely tell a story that we've seen before, right? It's a true story about somebody who, you know, just battled their way to their dreams and finally got to achieve what they always wanted to achieve. And in the case of this film, we have Kurt Warner as our main character, played by Zachary Levi. And over the course of the films, he would make his way to finally becoming an NFL star and going on to become a really big name in the NFL and in the American football world. Now, again, I'm not super familiar with this stuff, so I have to be completely honest when I say I have no idea who Kurt Warner is, and I had no idea who he was before watching this movie. With that said, after having come out of the movie, I was very happy to say that I enjoyed the film. I do have some gripes about the film and some of its storytelling kind of methods in the earlier part of the film, but ultimately I found this to be a really enjoyable, inspirational film with really great performances at the center of it that really tug on the heartstrings, but also is one of those films that feels very uplifting, puts a smile on your face, and reminds you that it's all about you going out there and fighting for your dreams, no matter the adversity that you will face or the various people and things that will try to stop you or bring you down over the course of your journey. As somebody said in this movie, life is not an event, it is a journey, and it's about who you become and not about what you achieve. And I really enjoyed that element about this film. You know, I think as somebody like myself who is a dreamer, I came out of high school, jumped straight into a rock band, and I thought that that was going to be my career for a long time. And then after that crumbled, I felt really distraught and I felt really broken down and didn't really know what path to go on. And similarly, you have Kurt Warner here, who was in college and, you know, was playing football and eventually would get his chance to be in the NFL and instantly was taken out about 2 days into his time in the NFL. After that, he ends up being somebody who's stocking shelves at a local grocery store and just kind of has given in to the way life is sometimes, you know, just kind of feeling discouraged and just kind of living a day-to-day life, doing a normal job, and maybe slowing down on chasing your dreams, which is definitely something I can relate with. But over the course of time, he fights back and gets to his goal of being part of the NFL, and he ends up becoming the quarterback for the Rams. And so, yeah, overall, I found this to be a really, really enjoyable film. Again, I'm not super knowledgeable on this guy, on football in general, so whatever this movie did in terms of taking liberties in its storytelling, I couldn't really tell you what was factual and was not factual. But this film was based on a book written by Kurt Warner, and Kurt Warner was also part of the production of this film, from what I understand, or at least was a consultant from what I understand. At the very beginning of the advanced screening, there was some footage with Zachary Levi and Kurt Warner where they kind of just presented the film, and after the film, after the credits, they also had something where they were just talking about the film itself and just talking about football and just, you know, kind of discussing everything around all of that. And so after having seen this movie, yeah, I totally can appreciate this man's rise to what he always wanted to do. This film, at the end of the day, whether you're into sports, whether you're into football or not, is really about chasing your dreams. And on that level, I find it to be a very heartwarming and inspiring film with a great performance at the center given it to us by Zachary Levi, who really is heartwarming. I really thoroughly enjoy him as an actor, and he's great in this role. You really want to root for him over the course of the film. Now, I mentioned earlier that I do have some gripes, and my biggest gripes will really have to be with the earlier part of the film. I enjoyed all that as we start to learn about Kurt Warner and his wife in the film, played by Paquin, and their very troubled kind of building of their relationship over the course of time. It wasn't really easy for them at first. You have the character of Brenda, or the woman Brenda, played by Paquin, who is a single mother of two, one of those children being blind, and she's afraid that, you know, based on her past, Zachary Levi's character, Kurt Warner, is just going to be another guy who's going to disappoint her and leave her. And so they definitely deal with trust issues and other issues as he's chasing his dream, and she starts to kind of feel like she's on the back burner. And I feel like this movie definitely depicts a really realistic approach to what a lot of relationships have to deal with when it comes to one person who's really chasing their dream and somebody else who is really supporting that dream, but sometimes the struggles that both sides can feel. You know what I mean? You may have one side feeling left out and maybe a little bit abandoned, while the other side feels like maybe they're just really trying to chase their dreams. They just need that support, and they don't feel like they're fully supported all the time. Ultimately, I think that this film definitely tackled that well. However, I did find the first portion of the film, since we are kind of jumping to different highlights of their relationship and moving us up to the final moments of the film, I found some of it to be a little bit rushed at times. I feel like we're kind of just jumping time, and sometimes the characters were a little bit different scene to scene in a way that didn't really feel 100% coherent. With that said though, I did really thoroughly enjoy the performances and the characters and the movie in general. I really enjoyed the inspirational side to this movie, and yeah, I gotta say I'm pretty interested in Kurt Warner's story after seeing this. This film is directed by the Erwin brothers, who are not directors I'm overly familiar with, but looking at their filmography, it seems like they deal with a lot of Christian faith-based films, and this film definitely has an element of that. But as somebody who grew up in that realm and is no longer part of that faith, I enjoyed that this film, you know, touched on that, but never really felt like they were trying to force it down your throat. So on that level alone, I enjoyed that, you know, this does have a faith-based element that has a nice inspirational, very powerful feeling to it, but never feels like a Bible-thumping film in any way, shape, or form. At the end of the day, this movie is about going out there and chasing your dreams and not letting anything stand in your way, no matter what anybody has to say about you or to you, whatever the case may be. So that's going to be my thoughts on American Underdog. I think this is a film that a lot of people are going to be able to resonate with. It is predictable because you already know what's going to happen, so it's not one of those films you're going to go into and have a lot of twists and turns and surprises, but ultimately I found it to be a really heartwarming watch that does have some really serious themes throughout, but ultimately is a very inspirational watch that you end with a smile on your face. I also really enjoyed the integration of actual footage from the famous game that happens at the end of the movie, integrated in with the footage that we're seeing shot in this movie itself, which was all really great. You know, the cinematography of this film was really great too, and overall, I don't know about you guys, I'm just into a really good, inspiring sports story, and this movie definitely had that element for me. So that's my thoughts on American Underdog. Definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. As I said, please leave a comment down below if you guys have seen this movie, or if you're gonna see this movie when it comes out. Please hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video. It really helps the channel out. Subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.